Hi and welcome to the channel SouthWood Designs. Today I'll be bringing you video number 3 in the Optimum Workbench for the shed, workshop or garage, which we have here in front of us. Shorter video definitely this time. I said number 2 would be shorter, but this one, number 3, is definitely shorter. We're going to be building the slide out drawers that are going to house the storage boxes that I've got just here to keep all sorts of goods, knickknacks and whole raft of things that are currently laying all around the workshop. This will tidy things up nicely, and this will be a good addition to the what I call the Optimum Workbench. Optimum for me, which is hopefully optimum for you too, in this form or some similar form. So let's crack on and see how we go with this part of the build. Here is another example of Aaron Jarcy making do. So I need to go 590, and that's right on the edge here. And my guide here is not going to sit on. So what we're going to do is make a block that's going to sit along here that I can run the timber along. So let's see how we can figure that out. So let's move over a bit so you can see what's going on. Here's a hint. If you've got sides to do and you want to put these shelf sliders on, mental block with what they're called, but if you've got these that you want to put on, it's so much easier to fit these, measure and fit these before you assemble the box, because otherwise you're going to be stuck inside the box drilling and screwing and all sorts, and that's going to be a little bit tricky. So do it first and you can fit these, and then it's going to be much easier when it comes to assembly and sticking the shelves in. That's my hint. The other thing too, which these runners are that have got, which is a bit of a benefit, is that they click shut. So when you're moving this whole bench around, you're not going to have the things fall open and closed as sometimes drawers do when they don't have that feature. So it's just something to look for. They're not expensive. They're 7-ish Australian dollars each, 35 centimetres I think these ones were. 35, yep. They hold a ton. They hold some like 40 odd kilos, so it's more than enough for what we're going to be using with these boxes. These boxes are going to sit like so, boom, 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 boom. I'm just measuring those out now. I've got 5 of these. So here we go. Okay, so I've measured these out. We're sitting 11.5 centimetres. Let's do this one. I'm going to do a period as well. So we're sitting 11.5 centimetres, which is 4.5 inches apart each shelf, and we're going to butt this right up to the front. So we're going to attach these at the screw points, or these are the centre lines for each one. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4 of these boxes. And then this shorter one here at the top for this narrower box that I've already got. These ones I've just picked up recently, the bigger ones. So let's crack on with fitting these, and as I said before, much easier to fit these before you put the box together rather than after. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. I'm just marking these because I've put a few marks on. Then let's just do the top one. Flush up to the edge, nicely on the line, and 1, 2, 3. And all in between. I'm just going to pre-drill these. So slight change in plan because it started chucking it down with rain. Chucking it down with rain, sound Australian, because that's where I live. So I just put everything inside just so that we don't get too wet, but we'll crack on with the build. What I've done now on both the sides is marked out the screw holes that you can see here. I've got 12 more screws that I'll use to attach these. I'm just going to pre-drill the holes, it'll just make it easier and make sure that we don't split the plywood. So that's the next step, let's get on with that. So same trick as before, as I mentioned in the previous video, and if you haven't seen it then go and check that out. That's build number 2 of the bench. This is going into build number 3. We want to make sure we don't go through this ply, so I'm just going to check the length, put a marker on the drill bit. That'll take me to just the right depth when screwing in. Just a bit of tape, masking tape, any sort of tape will do. There's a number of different things or ways that you can use, but this is quite effective and it's pretty quick to add and remove. So I'm going to get screwing into these holes and or drilling rather, get drilling into these holes, and then we can start to put the brackets on. Just in case I slip, I've just raised this. I'm sure I won't, but you know, safety first and take precautions, as they say. Beautiful, done. Just making sure these brackets are going the right way. Don't want to screw them on backwards. That would be silly. Love it when a plan comes together. Okay, beautiful. Done ski. So because this is going to pretty well self-support, I'm just going to glue this and hold it together with brad nails. That's the plan. Just cut the back off camera. I'm going to fit it. I'm not going to use a nail gun because I'm just sick of grappling with it at the moment. Might have to get it serviced or something. So I'm just going to use these button head screws. It's going to be at the back anyway. You're not going to see it, so it doesn't really matter. But that's my plan. I'm going to do that now. That is a beautiful fit. Work of art. Hold it nicely. Last bit, shelves. Do that shortly. Back soon. This is an unbelievably tight fit, so I've been giving it a bit of persuasion, and it will go in. It's just going to be bit by bit. But wow, talk about right to the. I mean, there's leeway, but there's just it might be the floor slightly uneven or something like that. Anyway, here we go. Sorry about the noise. That is incredible. But that's good. Okay. Now let's get some shelves built. Don't really need screws in there, but I'm just going to put a couple in. I mean, they ain't going nowhere. I'll put a couple in just to make sure it's secure. first tray of shelf fitted runs like a dream. So what I'm going to do is put a strip at the front, because these are going to sit on just here. So I'm going to put a strip at the front so that they don't slide out, but also I'll do one at the back so that the front one will be like a handle to hold on and pull out, and the one at the back will just stop it going too far back, and it'll also make it look tidy because, you know, a bit OCD. That's good. That is good. All right, let's crack on. Perfect. So here's the end result of the slide out drawers. Off camera I've just fitted these little front lips here so that the box doesn't slide out, but also I've put one at the back there, and I've done that for each of the shelves just to make sure that, a bit of dust on that one, have to clean that, just to make sure that they sit nicely in place and don't fall out. And also these sliding brackets actually lock in place when they go back into seat. So when I'm moving this thing around, it's not gonna let the shelves slide out, which is a great feature. So happy with that, happy with the outcome. It certainly looks good. One final thing I'll do is just put some trim around the edge just to make it look a bit prettier, and that will finish off that part of that project. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that part of the build. It was a challenge, but we got there in the end. So here's this plug system, pretty straightforward, made by Arlec. Don't worry about the fact that wires are hanging down, because I wanted to get this sorted and fitted first. But then what I'll do now I've got that sorted is start to tidy up these wires and put them in place with wire clips and so on, just to keep it neat. But certainly it's a great addition to have this along with the remote, which is just here, to be able to turn things on and off just nice and easily from wherever you are. Anything up to 30 feet away, which is good. 10 meters, plenty enough space to be able to do what needs to be done, turn things on and off when needed. So that's great, good outcome. So video number 3, shorter as promised, and this is the completion of this part of the project, and that's the slide out shelving for the drawer for the containers. Hope you've enjoyed that part. It certainly was a bit of a challenge. It was very squeezy getting that thing in, but better that than flopping all over the place. So it's good to know that the measurements are pretty solid and pretty accurate, and based off the plans, that's how it was meant to go, pretty tight and pretty squeezy. Just didn't quite think it would need a bit of persuasion with a rubber mallet, but there you go. Look, if you've enjoyed this, and if you haven't seen the other 2 yet, the first 2, then I suggest you do go and see them. But if you've enjoyed this, please make sure you like and subscribe. A lot of people that watch the videos aren't subscribers, but it'll be great if you could subscribe. You've come this far after all, you might as well just click a button. That way as well, if you want to find out when the next video comes out, you can hit the notification bell icon, and you'll know when the next video in the series is going to come out, or the next video of another project. A couple of things I'm working on behind the scenes are things like cutting boards and knife blocks. I'm just making a knife block design now, and I'll probably feature that shortly in the video. But the main thing around this workbench series is to continue building out. I'm going to put some cupboards in to be able to store some of the stuff that I've got lying all over the place here. The Optimum Workbench, one-stop shop, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, and certainly quite enjoying the process, and quite very much enjoying the results. So thanks again for watching. Thanks for taking the time to look at what we're putting together. Glad you enjoyed it. I'm sure you have if you've come this far and haven't hit that stop button yet. And see you in the next video. Cheers.